This is CBC Vancouver News.
Eventually, you could see in 3-4 days, 5 days, or a week, that these costs eventually being passed down to us.
Despite an end to Canada's rail shutdown, a ripple effect is causing BC businesses to worry about what's to come. And
it just doesn't impact our community. If the roads are closed or slowed, it impacts the goods and services moving through the country right now.
the body of a semi-truck driver has been recovered from a lake near Sicamous after it crashed off a bridge on Highway 1, shutting down the highway. Plus,
some have relocated, but some are never coming back. There's lots of empty space here.
A new poll by the BC Chambers of Commerce finds that more BC businesses are struggling to stay afloat. Hello, thanks for joining us. I'm Janella Hamilton. The work stoppage by rail workers last week continues to have a ripple effect on businesses. As Sohrab Sandhu reports, a Surrey grocery store has had to start rationing its limited supply of flour. And despite the job action ending, the small business owner fears the impact is far from over.
Aman Narula is keeping a close eye on his flour stock at this South Asian grocery store in Surrey.
Although if we're ordering 2 pallets, let's say per store, we're being delivered half a pallet.
Narula says the short work stoppage by rail workers earlier this week already had an impact on their inventory, especially flour, which comes from the prairies by rail.
Rail is it's the cheapest mode of transportation for these companies, which keeps the cost down.
Narula says for now, the supply chain disruption has not affected the price of flour, but he worries that could change quickly if suppliers are forced to use more expensive means of transportation like trucks to overcome the backlog.
Eventually, you could see in 3-4 days, 5 days, or a week, that these costs eventually being passed down to us.
Following less than a day of job action on Saturday, the Canada Industrial Relations Board ordered CPKC and CN Rail employees to get back to work after the federal Labour Minister imposed binding arbitration between the Teamsters Union and Canada's 2 major railways.
If it had gone on for a week or 2 weeks or 3 weeks, we would have seen a major impact on our shelves.
The dispute, which triggered a first-ever lockout of rail workers last week, led to unprecedented disruptions that threatened to cripple Canada's export-driven economy.
When you think of $1 billion a day of economic losses and virtually every sector of the economy affected, so we're obviously very relieved.
The Teamsters Union, which represents more than 9,000 rail workers, says it will comply with the board's decision, but plans to appeal it in federal court. Business owners like Narula hope that doesn't further impact the flow of goods.
We're willing to take this all the way if necessary. The Supreme Court has already ruled that the right to strike is a constitutional right, that the government should not have unlimited absolute power to legislate an end to labor disputes.
Trains are set to be back on track by Monday, and that's good news for thousands of commuters. TransLink says the West Coast Express will be running as usual, but is warning commuters may experience some delays. Sohrab Sandhu, CBC News, Surrey.
Officials say the driver of a semi-trailer truck was killed after the vehicle crashed through a guardrail on Bruin Bridge, plunging into a lake near Sicamous yesterday. The mayor of the district says rescue teams have now recovered the body of the driver and the truck from the water. The crash shut down a major part of Highway 1 for more than 10 hours Saturday.
This accident impacts all of us, right? And it just doesn't impact our community. If the roads are closed or slowed, it impacts the goods and services moving through the country right now because it is a major route. So Sicamous is resilient, and our thoughts, like I said, are going out to the family of the driver.
The province says it will continue to assess the impact of diesel spilled into the water from the truck. The district says repairs to the bridge will begin tomorrow. RCMP and the coroner's service are now investigating the cause of the crash. BC Hydro has begun filling the reservoir created by the massive Site C dam project in northeastern BC. The provincial electric utility says filling the reservoir is one of the last steps towards starting operations for the controversial dam project located southwest of Fort St. John. BC Hydro says it will take between 2 and 4 months to fill the reservoir. It will cover about 3.5 square kilometers of land. The utility is urging people to stay away from the area for at least a year after it has been filled, citing unstable terrain and floating debris as potential hazards. Indigenous groups and environmental activists held a small protest in North Vancouver today against the expansion of the Trans Mountain pipeline.
It's wiping out habitats and ecosystems and shifting our tide lines, changing the temperatures of our waters.
The federal government has long promised to sell the controversial TMX project, which has been plagued by delays and massive cost overruns. British Columbians believe running a business is more expensive in this province than anywhere else in Canada. That's according to a new poll released by the BC Chambers of Commerce. Isaac Panay reports.
No amount of signage is going to make... You can't even get to Main Street. Businesses are closing, they're going. Some have relocated, but some are never coming back. There's lots of empty space here.
Mount Pleasant is littered with empty storefronts, a sign that many businesses here are feeling the impacts of rising costs. Wiles says property taxes especially are putting pressure on business owners, and customers are cautious with their spending.
There's nothing that doesn't come in the door that isn't costing more and more and more each day. People are becoming very price sensitive, and it feels like that there's no end to it.
The Vancouver neighborhood isn't alone. A recent Leger poll released by the BC Chambers of Commerce found more than half of survey respondents believe the cost of doing business is higher here than other provinces. Nearly half of business owners say they're thinking of heading outside of BC.
The cost of doing business in British Columbia is very high, and it's causing an affordability issue for businesses.
Familak says widespread regulatory change in BC, like changes to minimum wage and new statutory holidays, are impacting small businesses too.
There's also a regulatory environment in BC that is not stable, and it creates uncertainty. Businesses need certainty to succeed. They need to be able to plan with certainty. They need to be able to invest with certainty. And that is lacking also in BC.
One industry feeling the squeeze are restaurants.
Our operating costs went up 20% last year. Our menu prices, though, this is interesting, only went up 7%. So there's a gap of 13%. So that's why you've got about half the industry not making any money right now in British Columbia.
But he remains optimistic.
We are starting to see municipalities they were really on board during the pandemic, but they're now starting to realize that more regulation, more red tape, more delays aren't a good thing, not just for us, but for business in general.
He says lower interest rates, a more stable cost of goods, and less red tape could help restaurants recover, as many still struggle after the pandemic. Isaac Panay, CBC News, Vancouver.
Researchers at the University of British Columbia have found a connection between newborn antibiotic use and lifelong allergies.
When you remove those bacteria that are beneficial for the host, that can lead to lifelong consequences in immune response. Especially in our case, we see this exacerbated allergic response.
The UBC research team identified the exact cells and molecules responsible for the allergic reactions. The next steps for the research include figuring out how to make cures that eliminate allergies rather than just allergy symptoms. The study was published this week in the Journal of Allergy and Clinical Immunology. Today marks International Bereaved Father's Day, a day of remembrance, love, and support for dads who have experienced the loss of a child. Earlier this week, CBC's The Early Edition spoke with one father who lost his son 2 years ago.
So we lost our firstborn son, Lucas, on September 25th, 2022. He was diagnosed with, and we found out gone for support.
First Canadian city swim portion was canceled.
And
Another frightening extortion attempt targeting a South Asian business owner in BC is pushing the issue back into the spotlight. As Yvette Brand explains, police are investigating who's behind the threats, and calls for more action are getting louder.
Caught on security camera, the suspect emerges from the dark and fires bottle after bottle at this BC home. The family inside wakes to the sound of glass shattering, the smell of gasoline.
We don't feel safe at all,
Jazz Aurora says phone threats began last year, demands for cash, promises of violence.
You have 3 days, give us 3 days, we will kill you.
This is one example of dozens of extortion cases targeting South Asian businesses in several provinces. Serious enough, the RCMP formed a national team to support local investigations.
It's a complex situation because it involves organized criminal activity from outside of British Columbia, outside of the country, involving India.
Edmonton police have made several arrests in connection to arsons and drive-by shootings. In Ontario, Peel Regional Police launched a special unit that's arrested 13 people so far.
We take these incidents very seriously and will stop at nothing to arrest those who are terrorizing members of our community.
But so far, there's only been a few arrests in BC.
When somebody is receiving one of these extortion threats, that they report it to the police as soon as possible. They report the evidence. That's what police need. That's what's required.
More should be done.
This community leader believes many cases go unreported.
It's concerning because not everybody is willing to come out and speak about these as well. It's fear.
He worries the extortion will flourish if people pay the demands.
Feeding into this whole frenzy, and it is going to become even more, serious issue in the coming years if this is not quashed now.
Meaning the number of targets could grow with a simple phone call. Yvette Brand, CBC News, Vancouver.
To international news, Israel and Hezbollah traded attacks across Lebanon's border today in one of their largest confrontations since the Gaza crisis erupted. The CBC's Katie Nicholson reports.
As sirens wailed, missiles arced over the Lebanon-Israeli border.
We felt really large explosions. We felt like an earthquake.
This Sunday morning volley of rockets, drones, and interceptions aimed at military targets, the largest between Hezbollah and Israel since the war in Gaza began. In Lebanon, at least 3 reported deaths. Israel says one of its soldiers was also killed. For Hezbollah, this was about retaliation, says its chief, after Israel killed one of its leaders in July during a strike inside Beirut. For its part, the Israeli military says its barrage was a preemptive maneuver to thwart a bigger attack from Hezbollah. After the smoke cleared, both got to claim a win.
By Israel saying we preemptively prevented a bigger attack, and Hezbollah saying we did our attack as planned, and Israel preemptive strike did not stop it. Both sides can claim success and victory and move on.
Tensions continue to soar in the region, the U.S. keeping warships nearby just in case. On Sunday, still no breakthrough in the negotiations on the latest proposed ceasefire deal between Hamas and Israel. It was hoped the deal might calm the wider region.
And they have already said that. Iran said that. Hezbollah said that if a ceasefire is reached and there is a cessation of hostilities in Gaza, they will automatically abide by that ceasefire.
It can't come soon enough for Gazans, now ordered to evacuate Al-Aqsa Hospital, one of the biggest still operating in Gaza. The sick, the wounded, among the thousands whose lives depend on a deal yet to be made. Katie Nicholson, CBC News, Washington.
The United States is weighing in tonight from here in Canada. National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan is in Halifax attending the Liberal cabinet retreat. He says a ceasefire deal is more urgent than ever.
It is incumbent on all parties in the region to work towards de-escalation and stability. And so we are feverishly working in Cairo as we speak with our team and the teams of the other mediators, as well as with the Israelis, to get to a ceasefire and hostage deal.
Sullivan is at the retreat to discuss U.S.-Canada relations, but likely top of the agenda for the Prime Minister is the party's struggles in the polls and the internal calls for change. Here we have a shot of White Rock Pier earlier today in the beautiful mid-afternoon sunshine. Will that sun be sticking around? I'll have your full forecast coming up next. All right, it is time now to take a look at our forecast. Let's begin with the current temperatures around the province. And we can see some of those areas a little cooler than we normally see this time of year. 13 degrees in Terrace and Prince Rupert right now, 23 in Kamloops, 20 in Abbotsford and on the island, 15 in both Victoria and Tofino. And heading into tomorrow, we are going to see some more rain activity and a chance of thunderstorm risk for Dease Lake at a high of 12 degrees for tomorrow. It's going to be much warmer with a mix of sun and clouds and a high of 17 for Prince George tomorrow. And in Kamloops, a high of 26, so creeping up in that region. And over on the island, Victoria is going to be a high of 15 for tomorrow, and again, a chance of those scattered showers. In Metro Vancouver, a bit of rain for us tomorrow with a high of 19. That's going to dry up for Tuesday, and it looks like the temperature is going to slowly creep up by the end of next week. A Navy veteran in Cloverdale has completed a replica of the SS Kamagata Maru. It took him 300 hours to complete the project. Take a look.
My name is Yvonne Lehoux. I served for 30 years in the Royal Canadian Navy. I retired from the Navy in 2006, and I had to find something to do with my time. And one day I was going through the Second World War Canadian ships, and I saw this ship called the HMCS Thetford Mines. It was built in 1944. I decided to build it from scratch. Once I finished building it, I says, I got to build another one.
And end of 2020, I just bought the lot next door to him, so we became neighbors, so we start hanging out. And then when I saw him, one of the weekends he was working on his ship, and we were talking about history, and then he started asking me, hey, what's your history? And the only ship I could think about was Kamagata Maru. I asked him if we can do it, and then we start Googling about it, and that's how it all started.
This was fun. This one took it, I think it took me the longest to build. After trials and trials, I was able to finally find the place where I could get documentation from it. Because this ship was originally built in Glasgow, Scotland in 1890. And then the ship was bought by Japan, and they renamed it the Kamagata Maru. I was able to trace back down to what the Kamagata Maru was named prior, and I finally found it in the Lloyd's Registry, which is like a ship database kind of agency that keeps track of all the ships that have been built since the 1800s all the way to the present. To build the entire ship, it took about 350 to 400 hours. To find out that there was no other models of the Kamagata Maru out there, this would give me the opportunity to sort of bring or unite, you know, the different communities that we have together. That was a no-brainer to build it. You're very welcome, my friend.
That is very cool. That is your late news for Sunday, August 25th. Thank you so much for watching. For news on the go, you can always head to our website at cbc.ca/BC. Your next local news is on the early edition on CBC Radio 1. That starts tomorrow morning at 5:30. Good night.